Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music with enough slack on the line to bring you into our worlds of Berlin, Limerick, and beyond. My name's Andrew.
And my name is Edward Red Brophy. Thanks for tuning in. As always, you can catch all of the Get Folked podcast episodes on Substack, which is the primary place we publish to, and also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Follow us as an old ex-con might follow the list of clues left for him, all the way down to Ceyhun by his wrongly convicted prison friend who has recently escaped from incarceration.
Wild. I like the name Ed Bread Brophy.
Ed Bread Brophy.
Bread Brophy.
So I like that would mean I like bread. I'd be some bread related.
I think it's your thing. It's like your calling card. You know, when you murder.
I leave a loaf of bread every time I murder someone.
Household.
I leave a slice of bread.
Damn bread, Brophy. Damn you, bread.
But if they know, which leads to the question, if they know that much about me, that they know I'm Ed Bread Brophy, I think they'd get me pretty quickly. I've lost the main weapon in the murderer's armor, which is anonymity, I would say.
Yeah.
That and the murder weapon. That's the other weapon in the murderer's armory.
How are you, Ed?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm not going to lie, Andy. I am feeling a slight bit of anxiety, nervousness, excitement. Do you know what it's like? I haven't felt this kind of nervous since Ireland, since the penalty shootout between Ireland and Romania in Italian 90.
Wow. That's spring. That's. I remember where I was in the exact moment that was happening. I was beside a radiator in a house in Corsicane. I was beside I remember just being beside the radiator, looking at the TV. I can picture myself exactly.
It's not that amazing when you're just in your living room. I can remember exactly where I was. I was in my living room.
I don't know where I was. Beside a radiator when Ireland fucking knocked one past that Romanian. And on we went.
It was the Packy Boner save though. That was the best one. That was it. That was it for me.
You're not giving it to Dr. O'Leary for his.
I just think the odds in a penalty shootout are always on the shooter's side. Not that you'd ever expect it, but because tension was so high. I mean, the stakes were so high and the pressure was on. But it's just seeing Packy like save that. That was so that was great. That was so good. Yeah. And his nice celebration afterwards as well was great.
Yeah. I met Packy Bonner once. Went into a Celtic shop in Omni. Omni, is it Omni is in the centre? No, where is Omni? Oh no, Omni's in the outskirts of Dublin. It must be, what's the ILAC? Is the ILAC centre? Is that in the centre of Dublin?
It is. I think it's on Henry Street. Is it Henry Street?
Yeah, and there was some sort of Celtic sports shop or Celtic supporters club. I think it must have been about like 19 or 20. And no, maybe a bit later, maybe in mid-20s. And Packy Bonner, it was very I just walked in there. I wasn't buying anything. I ended up buying something because Packy Bonner was there and I needed to get him to sign something. So him and a guy called Bobby
Packy Bonner supplements. Was he trying to flog some supplements?
Just like
Packy Bonner supplements.
By Packy Bonner.
Always makes you dive the right way. Save any night with the ladies with my Packy Bonner endorsed Viagra.
A hard save. I don't know. You can just lean it into whatever.
Yeah.
Solid pair of hands.
No matter
Still
where
don't
you put your hands, you're guaranteed a successful night. Okay, that's the last time we let Packy write his own. What do they call that? Type? No, it's not type, is it? I can't remember. You know, promotional stuff. No, I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish.
Sorry, you're nervous. Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
And is it connected with this new product that you brought into the podcast?
Yeah, it's
Why are you
directly
so
related
nervous?
to that. I don't know. I think I've so many hopes and dreams.
Just
I
because
think
of
I've
the
invested in this thing. I've bought and to show and to demonstrate this is not just me. Deirdre, who takes absolutely no interest in the podcast at all, zero. Okay, she has asked me to call her when we're doing this so that she can see what the results are, like on air. You know, so I have
just
to
to
text
fit
her.
anyone that's not been watching the podcast on YouTube, Ed did hold up a little label of what he's going to be sampling tonight, which is a product named Guinness Draft Nitro Surge.
Nitro Surge. You know, I mean, I'm all in on this. Everything from the naming, like, you know, Nitro Surge. They didn't have to put the surge there. They could have put lots of words. Nitro Flow.
Nitro by itself, Guinness Nitro.
Guinness Nitro sounds a bit toxic or something, though, doesn't it? Sounds like a chemical, even though there probably is a chemical in it. And do you know what the most exciting thing about it is? So it's a reusable thing. It's a reusable, rechargeable device that you stick on the top of the. Do you know what? This is going to come across like such a plug. We're not in any way being paid to do this. This is just something I like drinking Guinness, and I was told that it's quite nice. And I thought, I might try it on the podcast. This is going to come across so pluggy. No, we are doing this for free.
I'm drinking I'm drinking a Budweiser. Check Budweiser lager. Just to balance the books there now.
This is all about Guinness tonight. This is all about Guinness Nitro Surge tonight. So, with all due respect to your Czech Budweiser, fuck off. Okay.
Chucking our law. We're back, everyone. We're fucking back. Ed's going to unite the 32 tonight just by drinking Guinness Nitro.
Well, it depends. This could all go tits up, and then it's, you know, there'll be gerrymandering. There'll be
it's going to be a porno. That's what's going to turn into.
I'm not writing anything off.
Don't rule anything out, Ed. All is possible. All is possible.
I won't. I wonder is that. I think. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, right? I'm going to give Deirdre the heads up. I'm going to say, look, I'm going to pour this now soon, and you want to get up here, and so just give me a second there. But yeah, go on. Sorry, what you going to say?
I could just say that. So the opening of the show was the so Uygur very kindly sent me on one of his clips from the opening of the show that I went to in his Berlin solo sessions number 3.
Ooh, very nice. It sounds class.
The solo part. Yeah, there was kind of it was done in 4 parts. So it was him by himself first, then it was him and Ceyhun, and maybe I said all this last week, but I'm going to say it again. Him and Ceyhun. Go on.
No, Andy, like I can't even concentrate on what you're saying.
Dee's in the room.
I can't even concentrate on what you're saying. This, I mean, I'm just doing Uygur a disservice if I don't get this done and out of the way, because he's such a talented person, and I'm sure his show was amazing, and I just feel like I've got this thing hanging over me. I have to
do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do.
And I realize now I haven't even read the instructions properly of how to do it. But I'm just going to do it the way I think it should be done, and hopefully it all works out.
All right.
Okay.
So for those who are listening, Ed had held up a kind of what looks like, I guess, a top of a can with a pipe
it looks
sticking out of it.
That's right, like a nozzle. So like to simulate,
it could be a pipe. It could be a comically large pipe. They held it sideways and smoke.
It could be the guy. Let's say if the guy really wanted the tobacco, like the real tobacco hit, it's as if he really enlarged the tobacco place in a pipe.
And the nitro surge. Then what's the idea? What's supposed to happen?
That's the most important thing about this whole situation. I don't know what this does, but it requires power to do it. Okay, so it requires particular cans, which I'm just yeah. So okay, I'm going to open the can now. So just here we go. Fucking so nervous. Here we go. Jesus. Oh, cut my nails. It's hard to do this. Well, that was good. Okay, the can opened successfully. This is good radio, boy. This is the bee's knees. Okay, so put this yolk down on top of it. Paid €30 for this, by the way. Okay, she clicked. That's a nice click. And then I think I have to turn it on. Turn it on. The harp at the top lights up. I mean, my God. There, say what you want. But
Give us a look. Is it capable of
well, I'll spill the thing if I do.
Oh,
I'll show it to you
on.
later. Okay, here we go. Jeez, this is fucking hard actually.
Oh, and then you pour it in. Okay.
Pour it in, yeah. 45-degree pour. Yeah. So it's
raise it up there, raise it up. Go a bit higher. Go a little higher.
Jesus Christ.
I want to see what's happening here. There we go. There, look at that. So if you're just
listening,
I think he's pouring the Guinness into a Guinness glass. This show has been in no way sponsored by Guinness. However, our Christmas episode, we did do a very, very obnoxious promotion with the podcast in front of a Guinness sign, and now we're drinking Guinness and promoting them. But
so believe it or not, I have to leave the glass there for like a minute. I don't know, if you want to hang around for a minute and watch what she does? She's giving the nod. Andy says hi. Deirdre says hi. This is even better radio than me pouring. Again, it's just the two people saying hi to each other off screen. So we'll give that a minute. Sorry. So now I feel like I can relax a little bit as I watch the.
No, that was it. I was just like, it was nothing that I hadn't said last week, but I just Uygur sent me on a clip of the of his. So I just can't stop thinking of nitrous.
I'll tell you what, it's surging through my brain. This nitro surge, and it's just taking over.
Beer still fun.
Anyway, sorry.
But
sorry,
so that was Uygur, and that was that was one of the opening songs that he did. He did like his own solo thing at the beginning, followed by "Oh, it looks good, it looks good."
Yeah.
And he and then he sent that on to me, and there was it was just I have 2 clips from that night that he sent me, just of his own stuff. I think he's just promoted one. I'll find out before the end of the podcast the next date. He's actually promoted it already, but again, I've said this before. It's just such an amazing night, an amazing venue, an amazing setting, and the next time, if anyone's planning on coming to Berlin and they wanted to time it with one of those solo sessions, it's just so worth it for like over 2 hours of just quality entertainment. Now it's about to do the second pour, and
do they serve Guinness Nitro Surge?
They have yet to. No, they have a beer which
Christ.
is.
I'm gonna fucking spill all this all over the laptop.
I think it looks full enough. Is it? So a can is supposed to actually. Oh God.
No, it looks pretty good actually. I have fucked it up a little bit. I've poured it way too high, but it's not spilling out. You know, it's like it's hanging onto the lip of the glass. It fucking looks good, doesn't it? Like Deirdre's way more impressed than she is by the podcast. The fact that we've carried on for over a year in the podcast, she's looking at this and she's going, "Wow, this is what you should have been doing every week for the last year and a quarter, not the podcast." That's
try it with a can of cider, see what happens. Dear God, no. Dear God, woman, what are you doing?
I'm amazed at how really well it looks. I'm just going to hold it up one more time. Hopefully, I don't spill it. Look at that.
The only way you truly know it does look very
taste.
good. In fairness, it is by actually having another can side by side and seeing how that can. I'm sure there are online tests of that already, but.
Well, I've cleansed my palate this evening with Barry's cup of tea, which is like usually what an Irish person's palate is going to be cleansed with before they go out for pints. So I think I'm going to get like the most accurate taste test going. You know what I mean?
I know. I hear you. Are you going for it now?
No, not yet. I'm a bit intimidated by the head. That's what she said. And sorry, come on, like we're not that highbrow, are we?
No. I was already laughing. I don't think it required
Thank God. Okay, that's good. I'm going to have to edit that out because I really don't want to do any editing and post. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm just so excited.
You own it, man. You own it. And you've apologized. So if anything, you've gone over the top with your apologies.
I have.
You're appeasing all people. Now the racism, I'm not sure how we're going to cover that, but we'll figure that out in post.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go for an old drink here now. See how this goes. Oh shit! 1 second. Right. Here we go. Nothing wrong with that. No. Nothing wrong with that. Bye, Deirdre.
Like a pub.
Exactly like a pub. Now, if that was handled incorrectly, that could have been a huge anticlimax. But I really feel like it lived up to all of the expectations that I had set for it in my mind.
It looked like an excellent pint of Guinness.
It is.
It poured. You poured well. It had the tension of will it spill or will the joining power of liquid atoms that will join each other when gathered in a tight spot seem to play out exactly as planned. And yeah, you've done well, man.
Now, I do have one follow-up weird thing, is that the can, I got this Guinness glass from a pub, asked for it, they gave it to me, all fine, but the can is bigger than the pint, it would have overfilled it. Does that mean I'm being underserved pints of Guinness? Probably not.
Isn't
I think
pint,
the head is just too big.
A pint is not, but a can is like half a litre, isn't it?
Yeah.
A pint
Anyway,
is not a...
come here. I feel like I've...
Come on, I gotta talk about the metrics.
Sorry. Yeah. I gotta let you get your thing in there. I feel like I've really undercut Uygur. I feel like okay, now I've gotten this out of my system. I thank you for that.
You don't need
for your patience. And
maybe I was wrong. It's fine. We got through it. We've shouted out to Uygur. Do you know what I'll do? I'll just play another clip of Uygur.
Do, and then we can talk about that. I can relax then.
So it was Uygur transitioning into using the. So he was using an electric cello, which you talked about on the podcast, but he would jump between looping kind of stuff on his electric cello and then going to whatever you call it, a normal cello, a wooden cello, an orchestra cello, and so that was him on the orchestra cello. I do get very excited when he picks up the orchestra cello. I don't know. There's just that sound is just beautiful.
So he had looped. So I was hearing him on both instruments there. He had looped the electric cello in the back.
They looped, so every single it's just amazing to watch for me anyway. It's to watch them kind of build the music around themselves, like and play it, whatever, start looping their own recordings and then switch instruments. And Ceyhun does that quite a bit as well. And then so did the other artist. His name was Deniz Mahir Kartal. I haven't or Deniz. I guess we'd say Deniz. Deniz. Deniz, and so they all three of them. So like the way the show was structured was it was Ceyhun, first it was Uygur, then it was Ceyhun and Uygur, then it was Deniz, and then all three of them got up and played at the end. I couldn't even stay for that. Like this is the thing. Like it's such a value for money as well. Like going to this thing, that was 10:30, and I had to leave because I had to get home and go to work in the morning. But I think they played you get like 2 hours. In really beautiful setting. The guys themselves know exactly what they're doing in terms of recording and performing and projecting the music out into an audience. And then the audience itself was just very into it as well. It's all very, very intimate. It was at one stage, I think I talked about this last week, when they said like, close your eyes and listen to this song and try. And I closed my eyes for the entire song.
Yeah.
Nice.
Transforming. They're so talented. Like they're so talented. Listen to them there. And like, it's such a different sound as well that I don't that doesn't come into my orbit very often, and I love hearing it. So well done, Uygur, the guys. So good. Keep it up.
What do you call it? How's your week been, man?
My week was fine. I did have a session last night, which I really enjoyed. I like to try and fuck myself up a little bit from time to time by not giving myself enough time to practice a song. And so, like I could be doing like, I don't know, I'll know a session is coming up. And any normal person would be like, I'm going to learn a new song for the session, but I'm going to learn it, let's say, 2 or 3 days out from the session, and so that it's ready. Not me. I like to learn that song half an hour before we go to the session. So that's what I did.
This is the Australia. I'm assuming this is this Australia song.
That's
South
correct.
Right.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, it's a sea shanty, so there's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, I briefly, when I was uploading it just to see what the sound was like, I was listening to it, and I hadn't heard you sing it before.
That was because I hadn't learned it only, let's say, half an hour before you.
It's because I don't know that song, Andrew. That's why you've never heard me sing it, is because I don't know it.
I don't know why I do that to myself. Yeah, I don't know why I do that to myself. And like, I'm already always nervous going out singing at a session anyway. I always have that nervous feeling. I don't think that'll ever go away. But to do that to myself is really inexplicable. Like, I can never stop doing that. I do it all the time. And I just can't stop doing it.
Shall we take a listen?
Now when we're walking up the corn, eagle away, all away, you wish to God you'll never run from you down for South Australia. All away, you're rolling things of me, eagle away, all away, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia. I wish I was on Australia's strand, eagle away, all away, with a bottle of whiskey in me, we're bound for South Australia. All away, you're rolling things to me, evil away, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
I didn't enter the end. was that Ringo Starr on drums?
So which
was that
part
Ringo
in
Starr on
partic-
drums? That was it.
Which part in particular are you laughing about? Because there's several things you could be laughing about there.
I'm laughing at the limp clap at the end.
Yeah, it's quite limp. It's quite limp. But that's because I cut the audio clip before all the big raucous clapping came in. That's
Even the person that's decided to clap is like, oh, I hate
oh
myself.
shit, I'm on my own here. Fuck.
Just like, stop.
Yeah. And I don't know what I was hoping for. I mean, like, it's the exact appropriate amount of clapping for a song I've just learned half an hour ago. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't deserve any more.
But it's funny.
But nonetheless, a nice song,
you were,
though.
yeah, you were kind of, not that you're lacking in, well, you said it yourself, you were nervous or whatever, lacking in confidence a bit with the song.
That's my default. So
it's just, I just got, like, I laughed a couple of times just because I just love the person that's banging the table and it's just decided they're keeping the steady beat through the whole thing.
Believe it or not, Andy, that's me.
you.
That's me beating the guitar. I didn't even give myself the camouflage of music to, like, help me, through the song. I was like, I'm just fucking going for this. Again, nobody asks me to do this. Nobody expects me to do this. This is something I just bring on myself.
Well, I guess you're going to the session quite a bit now, so only for yourself to try something different. It's like, I think we both know this from playing in Irish bars in Berlin. It's like your soul can start to get a bit destroyed if you start repeating too many songs that you love.
But it can,
or not your soul can be destroyed.
It can
it's your soul. Sorry, it's your soul. Actually, be warned. Religious
sorry,
faction.
no, it's not your soul; it's your dignity. Sorry, I always get those two confused. So, but there was a couple of things in that. So that's only a 30-second clip. I was kind to myself in the clip that I sent you, believe it or not, in that I cut out a place where I forgot the words and went like heave away. Bound for South Australia.
Where did you hear that song?
Well, as you know, I'm currently writing a sea shanty because I want to, but it'll be based inland. Like it'll be based. It's an inland based sea shanty, so North Tipperary based sea shanty. So not much sea, just more of the not much sea, just more of the closest to the sea is like Loch Derg, but there's going to be actually nothing about water in this. It's going to be more about drinking.
Okay.
So in my research,
shanty.
yeah,
It's a land shanty.
Exactly, a landlubber shanty. So I went.
Sure. Oh, you've never worked the land, have you not? Oh God, you have no idea. This is the shit we went through on the land.
It's a turf turner's shanty. I was there. Went to start writing the sea shanty, and I realized I know nothing about sea shanties. So I started doing a bit of research and came across this really nice one. It's kind of a double-edged sword doing it that way, because then that really nice sea shanty is stuck in your head when you're trying to write your own sea shanty. So you have to be kind of careful there. I imagine that my one is going to go through a few edits before it kind of comes out with the finished thing. But glad I discovered this one. It's beautiful. Once you get the harmonies in, or people singing along with you in the repeats, a sea shanty can be very, very nice. So yeah, that's what I was doing with that song.
When were you? When was the Westward-Ho?
Yeah, it's last night.
Last night.
I had a weird experience there actually.
No funerals. No
funerals. All normal session stuff. Until I was leaving and met a person at the bar. So this person started, like, they were very drunk. Thursday night, they were very drunk, and they were really, somebody who's very drunk, they really start.
What was the Thursday night very drunk? Huh? Fucking no judgment over there with Ed, huh? Just Thursday night very drunk.
I suppose I have to own up to that one. Yeah, I guess you're right. There was a bit of judgment there, because it's very strange. But then again,
on a Thursday, yeah.
Like, yeah,
unless they can't function the next day. Like I've been pushing, I pushed that envelope quite a bit. Not going in drunk, but like maybe.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I suppose it always takes me by surprise if I meet people twisted on a weeknight. It takes me by surprise.
I guess, but you're providing a night that almost feeds that kind of frenzy of just like, you're playing music, so it's rare we would like kind of plastered when we're playing music, because you spend so much time singing and stuff like that. It's usually when you finish singing that you do that. But like, if you're just enjoying a good night and there's songs and people are singing about South Australia, for God's sakes, man,
yeah,
fucking blowing their minds.
Yeah.
Like, you heard that crowd.
Give me a Foster's.
Get I.
Sorry, all we have is Guinness Nitro Surge. Will that do? Yeah, I suppose.
You asking me out? You asking me on a date? It's the new roofie. It's just
Nitro Surge.
Sorry. Anyways,
and then No, it was just a weird encounter. I actually probably shouldn't go into it, to be honest with you, but just in case.
Wow. Oh my God, you're gonna fucking pull it out.
Yeah.
Just as it was going in.
Nitro Surge.
We pull it out just as it's about to go in.
Actually, this other lady was who we didn't know was there even in the pub. She came around before she left to all of us, and she was like, she just told us how nice it was. She was over from London, and she I think she had some hosts. She was staying with some hosts or something like that, and she came around to say how nice it was to attend a session she had. She just said it was lovely. She had never, she's a tourist, and she said she wanted a real Irish experience, and so they took her to the pub to hear the session, gave her a pint of Guinness, and I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, when you land on the right night, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And you do have a drunk guy at the bar, which ticks another box of like, oh, there you go. It's like the cliches are.
The pros are here.
The pros.
So yeah, it was a really nice night. I always enjoy that session over there because everyone is so cool, and the music's so nice. And apart from me, everyone else actually knows their songs really well before they arrive there. So
don't be overdoing
Well-
it now. Don't be over egging the pudding there now, Mister.
Well, no, well, come on. I mean, like in fairness, nobody else, I would say, would try to learn. Would think it's okay. This is okay. 30 minutes before the session, I'm gonna just No, everyone kind of they're very, very good, very, very good musicians. And
Shall we listen to a little bit of that magic?
yeah, absolutely.
Very nice music from
Isn't
the
it?
Westward-Ho in Mungret. Every 2 weeks, if you want to go down and enjoy some of the sessions down there, happens on a fortnightly basis.
That's right. So last
Thursday
night
nights?
was
Thursday
yeah.
nights, yes.
Yeah, so last night was the 3rd. So if you want to calculate out from that, anyone who's listening, but I'll be talking about it again. It's my main music thing that goes on, so I'll definitely be bringing it up again. But it was lovely. The lads who were there last night, brilliant, really brilliant. So yeah, lovely old vibe. Very safe place, to try different things as well. Like to try different.
Do you still
songs.
bring the banjo down, or do you just play?
I brought the banjo last night because there's already 2 banjo players, and then one of them. So I normally don't. So one of the banjo players wasn't going last night, so I said I'll bring down my banjo. So I brought it on last night and I played a couple of jigs on it, and yeah, it went well. Then I tried a second pair of jigs, and it went pretty badly. But that's still better than my normal, which is good. Progress.
Nice.
And people like the lads where I played the jigs. I had told the lads in the group that I'd only learned the sea shanty one like before it came out, and then one was like, "Oh, I suppose you only learned those jigs before it came out as well." There, did you? The ones there, I was like, "No, that's about 5 years of work. Actually, I should just witness in those 3 jigs." Unfortunately,
Then you played your next jigs, and they didn't make any jokes at all. We're like dead silent, just like
yeah, just. Next song. Who's next? Well, it's a lovely
Very nice.
session. Everyone gets on so well. There's a lovely balance of slagging and nice conversation and lovely music, and it's lovely. Love it.
nice, man.
So anyway, that was my musical exploits.
Nice. What do I want to do? I want to do something that we haven't done in a while, and I don't have much to offer on it. But
All right. I thought you were going to start peeling off layers of clothes.
not yet. I hate the way Zencaster doesn't smoothly let you. Sorry, I'm gonna talk
Yeah,
about
bad workman.
our overlords.
Bad workman, Andy. That's all I'll say there now.
No, I do all I can to help them out. But sometimes I just want to cut a clip short, and I want it to fade, and it don't fade. You gotta. I'm just saying. We said it to you already, Zencaster, and if you're not careful, we'll go elsewhere.
We'll
will
stop
fucking
being
take-
extremely lazy, and we'll take our business elsewhere.
I hope you're listening. I hope, and if it's an AI listening, then glip glop gloop, motherfucker. Deal with that. But yeah. Anyways, housekeeping.
Do you know what? This might be the Nitro Surge talk, but I'm starting to like that tune.
Just- I've always loved that tune, man. I've always
Every
loved it.
weekend.
I just want to go back to last week because I talked about the second band that I see. So we, in Case of Crisis, we talked more at length last week, and then the band LACRUSH, and the whole week I kept on saying like, because I think I described their music as soft techno. Did I? I believe I did. I've definitely talked about it, and realizing that I don't really know anything about techno to even define something as soft techno. And so I wrote to them this week and asked them, could I play some clips from the podcast? And they got back and they were very nice and said yes. And but just to put their music in, they haven't sent me this. This is on their website, LACRUSHmusic.net. And they are musically, they navigate the intersection between catchy pop and a rough experimental electronic sound. In addition to synthesizers and harmonized vocals, drummer Leona Sobek now adds depth to their sound with analog drums. So, and I guess if you're going to hear a clip of it, then you're probably not going to hear very much, I don't know, soft techno. I just pulled this out of my ass. I have friends that kind of hang out, and I have friends and lovers who often look at me and go, "What the fuck are you saying? What does that mean, soft techno?" And when they say it to me, I'm like, I have to just immediately agree and go, "I don't know what I mean by that, but it's what was in my heart at the time." Here's some soft techno.
Sorry.
Soft techno.
I suppose I don't have the I'm not able to. I'm really bad at categorizing music anyway as well.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you what categories music fall into unless they're really, really obvious. It's just I either like something or I don't, and that sounds really nice.
No, they were excellent. That is a song that they have called Solo. And you can catch LACRUSH. I believe they have another Bandcamp that we'll add to the blurb at the end of this podcast. And they're playing actually a gig. Where did I read that somewhere. They're playing live gig. Let's see, on the 14th of at the 11th of April. You can catch them in Leipzig in a place called Secret Location. No, I don't know if that's the best. I haven't looked up, and
that sounds like the way we'd promote a gig. I
feel like I'm finding all my kind of my true music.
Yeah, we're vibing hard with this musical group because it really feels like us.
The underground, except it's just like it's just a shitty sewer and it's just us by ourselves. Oh, we only play in the underground.
We could only do things literally underground.
Look at that, a great second pint of Guinness from Ed there.
I messed it up, man. I messed it up. I didn't turn on the mysterious object on the top of the can before I poured the first pour. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't do it, and so it makes a huge difference. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop talking about it because I don't want to be stepping on LACRUSH's time now the same way I expect to step on Uyghur's time.
But make sense of that. What's it makes a big difference. How have you noticed the big difference?
Because I for the first part of the pour, I didn't have it switched on. I was like, oh, the head doesn't look as good. And I was like, shit, I never turned on the thing. And then I turned it on for the second part of the pour, and the head just became beautiful.
Interesting.
So there you go.
Okay. Oh, you didn't move in on LACRUSH this time. That was their song Solo. And I think that's I have another recording of one of them. I think this is one of their German songs. So, and the way, Rotbart is the name of the bar. And again, I can't recommend the place enough. It's a very, very nice bar with an excellent back room, very uncomfortable chairs. Be careful where you sit. But the whole arrangement of the venue.
Bring a chastity belt.
And they performed after In Case of Crisis, two kind of two artists facing each other, kind of. So the stage was set with the drummer in the center and the two artists facing each other on left and right of the drummer, looking at each other and kind of harmonizing and exchanging lyrics and that kind of music. This is another one of their ones, and then I'll be most of my music.
Du hast es raus, hast alles über mich rausgefunden. Beides ist aus, hab das Halbleer jetzt ausgetrunken. Ich will jetzt los, aus meinem Herz nehme ich nichts mit. Daten aus System gelöscht, das ist mein Austritt. Schön wär's, es gibt noch einiges zu tun, aber was eigentlich außer warten auf die Explosion. Auf den Zusammenbruch aller Themen, die dich erhalten. Immer bis zur Website ein Ende vorzubereiten. Bin mir nicht sicher, ob wir wirklich sagen können, im Getriebe sind, manchmal kurz davor zu sagen. Von hier an bin trotz aller Mühen, mal sehen, ob ich den Weg zurückfinde. Nein, um frei sein zu können, muss der Wind sich drehen, denn du greifst mich an. Du greifst mich an. Du greifst mich an. Oh, capitalism.
Oh yes.
Oh
Believe
man,
that
I'd
song.
love
What?
to see them. Sorry, I'd love to see them live.
Yeah, no, they were really the entire night, and I know I've talked about it more so last week, but just a good group of people that had a good following of like-minded spirits, and yeah, so LACRUSH and In Case of Crisis, check them out on Bandcamp, and
Yeah, it sounded kind of like hip hop though. No,
yeah,
that last one.
yeah, kind of yes, but like I've already committed to soft techno, so my hat's already in the ring. Ed, if you want to go down hip hop, then
Yeah.
by all means throw your, and we'll get them on the show. We'll ask them who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, I could see how intellectually your hands are tied on this one, and yeah, you've hitched your wagon to the truck of soft techno.
There's too many people in Berlin that come to this podcast for the music, to understand the music, and I can't be seen to be kind of in any way doubting
Yeah,
who I am and what I understand music is.
a flip flopper that would hurt our brand. Our
Nope.
stock would
We're never wrong. Never wrong is my motto. Never wrong. You know what I was doing this week? I was telling kids stories. Like, I know we had an episode a while back where we talked about fairy tales, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It's a good while back now, but I think we talked about fairy tales. But for one reason or another, I was reading stories to kids this week. I needed them to listen to a story because I needed a quick short story so I could explain the structure of the story. So I chose Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
Are you? No, sorry, I didn't. Three Little Pigs was the first one.
Okay.
You familiar? How confident would you be at telling the story Three Little Pigs now? Someone with two kids, you'd be kind of in your wheelhouse now at this point.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty confident recounting it. Yeah, the three Little Pigs.
All right. Well, then some questions. Pop quiz. Hot shot.
All right, name that movie before you move on there. That you just quoted. Pop quiz. Hot shot.
It's something to do with an airplane, isn't it?
No,
Shit, I'm out then.
it is a vehicle though.
Train.
No, try again.
Speed. It's a bus.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Well done, Andy.
Something in me that said vehicle. Mode of transport.
Man, your brain categorizes information weirdly.
I've just pissed myself as well. I don't know what that means. but-
Pop quiz. Hot shot. Who's just pissed in my pants? It's me.
Always bet on black. What? Oh, I just shit myself.
Yeah, the hip Guinness last night.
Name the
Nitro
movie.
Surge.
Name the movie so people who understand that I'm not just saying always bet on. What's the movie? Always bet on black.
Oh, I don't know what that movie is, man. I'm sorry.
It's another 48 hours.
I don't think I've seen that.
Is that Wesley Snipes? God no. Is that
Does
Wesley
he also
Snipes?
say I've just shit myself? Which line are we talking about? Does he say all of those things? That's an amazing movie. I'd love to have seen him like reading the script, and his agent's like, "Well, what do you think?" Good script, but just one or two notes. Do I have to shit myself? Does the character have to shit himself? Couldn't he just be a cool, slick casino thing reference?
Nope. The director has been insistent on this part, actually. And it has to be a live action shot, no stunt doubles. It's got to be you. And yeah.
He's flown in a macro lens from Germany. They're going to fit to the camera so that we get absolutely everything, all the detail. Sorry. Anyway, go on. What were we talking about?
Oh, the story. Yes. So, pop quiz hot shot.
Pop quiz hot shot. Okay, good. Go for it. I'm ready.
Why did the three little pigs build the houses?
Because their mom kicked them out.
Very good. See, we were talking about that last night, and we couldn't remember. Okay, so you got that.
Okay, so he doesn't set off the bomb. The bomb on the bus is not going off yet. I've kept the speed limit above.
All right.
Well, I was going to say 88, but that's Back to the Future. It's 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour.
60, I'd say 60 or something.
Okay. Casual about it, Andy. So casual, man.
So then, the second part is how does the wolf die?
Well, now to be fair, in some versions he doesn't die. Like the more child friendly versions he doesn't die. But I would say he dies from falling into a boiling pot of water as he goes down the chimney.
Yes.
Some versions, and sometimes he just harmlessly burns his bum and runs away and never bothers him again.
That was the version because this is real time teaching I'm doing. And of course, one could plan ahead and read a story, but that's not how it works. That's not what these kids are getting.
Andy, that is not how NitroSurge cans are poured.
They've got to get this story in real time. And
they're gonna fucking find out how you find out, as you find out.
So I was with a group of, like, we'll say I told them that part, that read that part of the story out, and I could still see one of their face when I told them. And the chimney fell down into a pot of boiling water, and then I think that the pigs might have eaten the wolf afterwards.
That I've never seen in any version, and seems like a very unnecessary add-on.
As in, like, they had wolf soup, and she couldn't get past the idea of like boiling the wolf with the blood all inside, and like, this has not been cleaned out animal. This is just like, we're boiling this shit straight away off the. And I kind of was like, because. Whether I was right or I was wrong, I kind of decided to side on to go on the side of, well, isn't that where meat comes from? There's blood in mince, and there's blood in chicken. There's blood in, so, like, what's the difference? I don't know what got into my head, but I was just like, and she just like couldn't get the destructive face.
Did you want to really slap this person down, like, or something? Did they asked like a question earlier on in the class? You're like, I'm going to show you.
Well, I'm not at liberty to say. There's a certain amount of dat and shuts I need to tread between. But yeah. So and I could and afterwards, then when I was in the middle of saying it, I was actually imagining just a bubbling, boiling, just full wolf in a pot of stew, and the pigs just eating it in the end. And
the blood is the least of your, like, all the fur.
If you got a really good colander.
Yeah, that's true. But now, to be fair to you, right? I've seen you at this before in education mode. I know why you took that position, because you wanted to force them down their line of thought. That's why. It's not enough for them to say
it's disgusting.
It's disgusting or whatever. Like, you have, like, so I know we're joking about it now, but I know I've seen you do this to me as well, and to lots of people. It's like
random kids on the side.
No, but like, no, again, like, just to be like, to be serious from it, you would do that in a very, like, normal, natural way. So, like, I can see why you would ask that. So it's a very educational way to do it. You did pick the wrong side of the argument, to be fair.
I did. But listen, I have to be, whatever it is, the devil's advocate. Is that the correct
Yeah,
term?
yeah. What you should have done was draw out. And now I can say these sort of things because I'm not teaching. I'm not in the class, and you can feel free to disagree with me. But what I would say is, what you should have done there was like draw out a stupider kid in the class, and then like take the smart girl's side against the stupid kid, and just pile on the stupid kid. And it's like, really. That like then you're on the winning side, and you get to draw out the line of logic in the child and explore that. That's just look.
Just ideas. We're just throwing out ideas, everyone.
What do I call that? A Monday morning quarterback. They call it in the States,
What's that?
or a hurler on the ditch. they call it in
Okay.
Ireland.
Oh yeah, Monday morning quarterback. Where are you getting your American football references from?
God, where did that come out of? Actually, I'm not
Monday
sure.
morning quarterback. I've never even heard you talk about American football in my entire life.
I think that's the most I've ever spoken about sport, and I chose American football.
Well, we did have a sports section already at the start of this podcast. So,
Ah, well, look, the way I am, it's just sport always just weaves in and out through everything I say. Really, sporting
my
guy.
blood runs red.
Oh man, I went into the pub last night, and there was like 3 or 4 screens in there, and they were all on this soccer match going on. And the barman, who's a really cool guy, and but he's obviously big into his soccer, and there's good few people around. And you know the way soccer is with people, and it's always like a slagging going on because some lads would support some teams and some lads support other teams. And so I was just kind of going, hey Andy, how's it going? Or whatever. Like he goes, he points to TV. He's like, we sure as hell don't want them to win, do we? I was like, sure don't.
Darn tootin'.
You said it. I don't want to Monday morning quarterback this thing, but I think you're right.
Watch the Monday morning quarterback. Where the fuck? You said it in
fucking
earnest. When we go back through the records, you threw that out in earnest.
I did.
But listen,
I think it's
the quiz, the pop quiz hot shot is not over. So then,
I think I'm fucking acing this thing. I think I'm.
you are. You're doing well, but that was
taken
easy
Keanu
round. That was
Reeves.
easy round because Three Little Pigs is an easy round. Now we're into the fucking real shit now.
Okay.
So, and the objective of this is to, by the way, just to understand what I'm kind of why I'm reading this is like
It's to stop the bus from exploding.
We don't want
Speed.
any dead bodies today, kids. So you need to fucking understand this shit, all right? Because
So I've planted a bomb somewhere. Okay. If I get one wrong answer from this class, I'm looking at you, David.
it's funny.
You're
it's
taking
funny
shit.
that-
I do not want to see that hand coming up.
oh my god, I did that. Okay, God, I don't know how much I
Andy,
should
you
talk.
need to clarify. You did not all do everything I just said.
Well, like, okay, so what I do is I try to get kids to summarize a story in 5 sentences. So they have to so I tell them a story, and I'm like, now you have to do like what is called a story mountain in 5 sentences. Like you have an opening, a build up, a dilemma, a resolution, and an ending.
Oh, nice.
They have to come up with 5 sentences to say that, and in the midst of this, because again, I'm doing a lot of this. I'm just reading the room,
Yeah.
and so they have to sit down together and come up with 5 sentences to summarize the story using those as checkpoints. But any kids that went over 30 seconds, I just cut them off, and it was like too long. No. not kids. They were working in groups, so I wasn't picking on anyone individually. I was just picking on groups of people because I wanted to emphasize the point that they overthink the fact that like I don't know, like characters. Oh, we have to have characters, and they start going really deep into characters, and it's like, no, you haven't even thought about that. Anyway,
Yeah. So you punished them. You punished them as a group,
as a group, I
which is
punished
way
them.
better.
If anything, I'd know. Well, oh god, I don't want to go too deep down into what. Anyways, I'll move on to the next.
Cool.
So I did that with them. We did the Three Little Pigs together. So then I said, okay, now I'm going to read you the story of Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with the Little Red Riding Hood series?
I would be quietly confident and also verbally confident on that one.
Why was Little Red Riding Hood in the forest?
She was going to visit her grandmother who was sick. She was taking her grandmother some supplies.
What was she bringing her grandmother?
Well, food, as far as I know.
Okay.
Do I have to be more specific than that?
Yeah, for the loyal to the original.
Well, do you know what? I don't know. Bread, cakes.
Wine and cake.
Okay. I
Wine
didn't
specific.
know about the wine. Okay.
When did when did Red Riding Hood meet the wolf?
In the forest.
What happened?
The wolf, it's a really good lesson for kids not to talk to strangers, actually. So she meets the God, that is a good portion of people listening to this going like, duh, we all know this story. No,
I did this with two people last night, so maybe I think you're in a world where you are doing this, but anyone that listens to this and doesn't have kids, like
Yeah.
I have kids and I didn't remember any of the story. And I was with two other people, one of them has kids and the other doesn't, and neither of them could remember the story.
So I'll answer your question. So she goes into the forest, and pretty early on in the forest, she's on her way to the grandmother's house, and the wolf kind of pops out, starts to talk to her like let's say faux blasé, like all kind of, oh well, chummy,
Hey, sweet cheeks. What you doing? What you doing out in the forest?
And so she gives him lots of information basically, and tells her, I'm on my way to see my granny, and she lives over at the other side of the forest and clearing in the woods. In some
Two trees
versions,
down from the squirrels, and
exactly, and in some versions the wolf is like, oh, I'll race you there, and in some other versions then he convinces her to go on a longer way around to pick flowers or something like that.
yes, that's the one I had. Okay, this is the one that I experienced and didn't remember any of this story. Like and I'm starting to think I wasn't much like sex education. My mother neglected to tell me critical stories for a child to learn, and I'm still waiting for you to read me Little Red Riding Hood, ma'am.
Well, to be fair,
we'll figure out the rest. We'll figure out the rest.
To be fair to Mary, she probably did the math, and she was like, "I'm pretty sure Andy is fairly safe. He's a safe bet for being waylaid in the woods by a wolf." So I'm just
Andrew always loved animals. That's a famous line from my father during my wedding. In Ireland, we tend to have, there's 4 speeches. The father of the bride, the father of the groom, and the best man, and the husband, who was me. And my father at one point in the speech just randomly said, Andrew always loved animals.
In his defense, it was a setup for a joke. He was setting up a joke.
What was the joke? I can't remember the joke.
Oh, I can't remember the joke either. I just remember that line, and it was such a head turner. It was like, that's...
I couldn't hear it.
Everyone at the top table just went, "What?" It was such a setup. It was brilliant, and he delivered the joke perfectly. The whole place.
He does. He knows how to. He's got stage presence. He's got moxie.
Yeah.
But okay. Let's get to the end of this.
Okay.
So, all right. So you know that. How does Little Red Riding Hood? What happens when Little Red Riding Hood arrives at the house?
Well, by that time, the wolf has already been there and eaten the grandmother. Now, in some of the gentler versions, the grandmother is hidden herself in the closet, which I think is actually, they think they're being more child-friendly in those versions. But to me, it's like, actually, that's worse, because the grandmother is willing to watch the wolf devour her grandchild in that version, which to me is worse. They've just kind of they've sacrificed one horrific ending for plot point for another horrific plot point. Far worse. Anyway, so the grandmother has been eaten. The wolf disguises himself as the grandmother somehow in the bed, and is in the bed waiting for Red Riding Hood to come in.
And when she arrives?
The wolf, I think, has closed all of the curtains. It's all quite dark inside. And there's that whole famous what big eyes you have, what big ears you have, and then finally what big teeth you have, all the better to eat you with. And then he jumps out and eats her.
And so how does this I didn't remember at all. I assumed that Little Red Riding Hood at this point killed the wolf and saved the grandmother.
No,
but what happens?
In the forest, she is sometimes it's her father is a woodcutter, and sometimes it's just a random woodcutter is in the forest.
It's a hunter in the story that I read.
Yeah, so sometimes it's somebody related to her, and sometimes it's a woodcutter. I haven't seen the version of a hunter, but the hunter is alerted, or the woodcutter is alerted somehow when he hears the screams, But in any case, both the grandmother and Little Riding Hood end up inside in the belly of the wolf, and the woodcutter comes in and cuts the wolf open in with his axe, and both the granny and Little Riding Hood fall out of the wolf's belly, and then they eat the picnic.
And the message in the story that I read was, don't go off the path.
Don't talk
So
to
it's so
strangers.
interesting that you say don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
The message that was trying to be relayed was like that Little Red Riding Hood never to go off the path that was
Okay.
set for her.
Well, it can do both, you know.
To be honest with you, I don't like that message. Like, never go off the path. That seems a little controlling.
I just think don't give strangers information about, like, intimate information about you. That's a better message.
Yeah.
Now, we're
that's-
saying that as people doing a podcast giving intimate information to whoever wants to listen to it. But so
relaying stories that, like, if you were to meet us on the street, you could somehow. I feel like I have thought about this before, that like random people, if they wanted to, I can't believe that we're at the point yet where they'll want to, but
yeah.
could somehow set up a big scam
Yeah.
with the information that they've listened to.
It would so not be worth their while. I mean, there's a cost benefit graph and they're just on the wrong side of it at the moment. You know, with us, it'd just be such a waste of time.
We don't even like our friends, so there's no way we're going to like you. So it's like,
No,
This
it's
is
just
really-
no, it's just we have nothing. We have nothing to take. Except this awesome Guinness nitrous surge head. I'm actually able to show
Battery
you how it lights up now. Look at that.
oh, very nice.
That's
very
nice, isn't it? The
That's-
heart lighting
that's-
You're going to need to watch the video on YouTube to see that. That's
But
lovely.
so anyway, so told them that story, and that shocked me a little bit, and shocked the group of,
Did they not know that
I
story?
want to say 8 to 9 year olds that I'm with.
They
And,
should know that story. Like, I mean, to be fair, like
But
I've been telling
I don't know.
I've been telling
It's
the kids
weird.
those stories since they're like 3.
I don't think I've ever
that's
like.
bedtime stuff.
I had to ask Maliki about it. Like, did you know this story about Red Riding Hood? And I'm not sure he knows. Kind of. I can imagine a lot of people being uncomfortable. I think I talked about the Roald Dahl poem and the pistol and the panties, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still a part of me that when I'm with a classroom of kids and just stuff like that is talked about, I'm like, how's this going to be? How's this going to be received? Because I don't know. Everyone's different.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is true. But I think, look, you've got such a good barometer for that sort of stuff, Andy, I have to say. So don't doubt yourself. I think, and we talk here for comic effect, but I think you give such good lessons in thinking and lateral thinking and stuff like that. Stuff that's not natural certainly to me, because you've done it on the podcast a few times, asked me riddles and things like that. I'm so bad at it. But I really think that's so good for kids to get them to kind of like talk about things and kind of follow a logic. I really like that. So
I should have brought it. I gave the kids 5 riddles there one morning on I think it was Thursday morning.
Yeah.
we have this, like, one of these I don't know what you call it. Plug in a USB. It's basically a webcam, but it's like it's a book reader. So like you plug it in and then you can it's set up so you can point it down in a book that you're reading. I did like 5 of those riddles. They fucking loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them. They were just buzzing, especially kind of random kids that you're kind of like that you think aren't really listening a lot of time, and a couple of them got them because they just picked up on a tiny little nuance of like, I think one of the answers was Peter Pan. I can't remember the riddle itself, but it was something to do with ticking clock and
Pop quiz hot shot.
tight green pants. Little boy, tight green pants. Pop quiz hot shot.
Likes the lead on
he'll
Little
never
Fairies.
Oh, that was one of the weird things that we came across, because the study of bells. Oh, what do you call a person that studies bells?
That studies bells or that rings bells?
Not sure. I feel like I have
a person who rings bells is called a campanologist or something like that.
Campanologist, yes. A person that rings bells, because this was one of the clues that we ended up, whatever the line is, I will look this up for next week and I'll bring it next week. But they said something about a campanologist. And I just said to the kids, like, I haven't a clue what that's about. But it's like, just, and then one of them looked it up and they found campanologist and something to do with bells. And then someone else clicked and it was like, oh, it's Tinkerbell. And it was like, yes. We're all learning here, including me.
Yeah. And rather than trying to appear smarter than I actually am, by sheer coincidence, I was told what a campanologist is this week by a man from West Clare.
I wonder, was it around the same moment in the same day that we were both speaking about campanologists?
Well, if you break it down now, because the odds of that happening, the odds of us coming across this word for the first time this week in the same week, and the fact that both of us have been alive for 42 years and have never heard this word before, and now we've both heard it in the same week, that the odds of that must be crazy high or low, depending on what way odds work. I don't even know.
I think it's 700 over 300. I believe.
Are they long odds or short odds? I don't. How do you describe those? When something's not likely to happen, they're long odds, right?
Just to jump topics there about odds and numbers. I started, like, we've had a conversation before about time, haven't we? And time and in the metric system and where time has come from. I think I was talking to you.
It's like, Andy, we're late for this gig. Come on. Are you talking about those sort of conversations?
Actually, no, I'm not going to go on this road.
This is, you know what? We're giving people a really good insight into what it's like for us talking in a bar together, because the two of us are getting a kind of a buzz on and we're just jumping constantly from topic to topic.
Okay,
but campanologist, I'm blown away by that. I'm blown away by that has come up for both of us in the same week of our lives.
Why were you talking about campanologists?
Well,
Peter Pan as well, actually. Funny enough, we were discussing.
Which makes it even weirder. It makes it even weirder, completely separate. So one of the things I love about where I work is that the guys working there, you know the way sometimes you go into work and you kind of I don't know what it is, but sometimes you only see the person as the role that they're fulfilling at work, and you forget that they have a whole life outside of work and all this sort of stuff. So what I love about the canteen and sitting down and chatting with somebody at the canteen is that you get like all of their outside of work life details. And there's this one guy there, I was just chatting to him, and he was telling me how he has a farm in West Clare, and there was an old threshing mill in the farm, and they restored it. And this is one of these things where it's like, we're just going to do this. You know, there's no commercial gain to it at all. It's a stone building with an old threshing mill in it that used to be operated by a I was going to say, used to be operated by a donkey, and I just picture a donkey with all these levers and stuff like that. But no, what I mean is powered by a donkey, is what I mean. That wasn't a donkey that control panel, like watching grain.
The donkey had a doctorate. He's fully qualified to do. Smokes a pipe, everything.
He's got many leather-bound books, this donkey. And anyway, no, it was donkey powered. Still sounds. But you know what I mean? It was like a thing that was going around the circle, and the donkey pushed that, powered that.
Yeah.
Donkey power. And so anyway, they restored this old stone building, and at one of the gable ends of this building, at the top of the gable, they had built a bell, and it was an old what was called a model farm, which was in the old days, in the 1800s, I think, in Ireland. They would have had it would have been owned by a landlord, usually of almost exclusively, actually, I suppose, of the ascendancy, the Protestant ascendancy in Ireland, and they would have rang the bell. These things would have had bells to call the workmen in, either for work or for food or for whatever it would signify a certain point of the day. And so they restored this bell tower, and they got a bell. And so just while this guy who has this farm and also works with me, as he was restoring this, he was kind of doing research into the bell and all the rest, and he found out that what a bell. He kind of did what you did, actually. He goes to me, now I have a pop quiz hot shot during lunch, and he goes, what's a bell ringer called? There's a particular name for it. I didn't know. And he goes, it's called a campanologist. And he just told me that this week. So mad that I needed that information this week to be able to talk to you about that. Otherwise, this podcast would have been terrible.
It
would have been all fucking nitrosurge this, nitrosurge that.
Buy nitrosurge. Drink Guinness. Yeah.
God, amazing.
Anyway.
And do you think what point were you? I forgot what point you were making with the kids by telling them these fairy tales.
No, I was trying to teach them the structure of a story. I was using them as easily summarizable points in a story, so they can, because they're like, I don't know, maybe we're all the same, and I'm certainly the same as well. But like, whenever you go to write something, you start to overthink sections of it, and I try to knock that kind of, stop trying to perfect it in the first go. So you've got like 30 seconds to tell the story, leaning into these 5 points or 5 sections, and because before I will let them, because I don't like correcting rubbish,
right?
So I don't want them to. I would prefer. I'm going to. My plan is. It's been a while since I've taught like storytelling. It's been a long time, nearly 10 years. But I just I can remember just kids writing some kids writing reams and reams of utter shite because the thought process is more is better.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm trying to kind of narrow them down to kind of make me 5 perfect sentences, and then we'll kind of break out from that. And I'm not going to let them break out until they do that. So this literally just was actually the first lesson in story writing.
God, that's really clever. That's really clever. Like give them the blueprint beforehand, and let them try.
And then we'll start to move it. We have a thing, and I think it's like book week next week. Like a lot of stuff. I'm very new to this position. Like it's a short term position, but it's next week is like book week, and we have a theme of like forests. So I'm going to start thinking about telling stories, but like characters breaking off in different directions is going to be represented by branches in a tree. So when you get to a fork in a tree, they're going to have to like, okay, your characters are going to have to go in different directions now and have their own story. Anyway, God, what am I doing? Is this fucking education podcast?
But Andy, man, I honest to God, right? I wish I had a teacher like you in school. Now maybe I'm selling my teachers short. Maybe they were thinking this in depthly about stuff. Man, that's some good stuff. That's honestly,
No. I know that we had teachers from the same cloth, so thinking about the nuance of the story writer. Maybe they did. Maybe actually,
maybe I am selling them short, But I knowing the way you go, I just think, that's very nice. I think that's very cool. Just teaching kids that sort of stuff. Very cool.
And
if you could come up with a nitrosurge analogy, that would be awesome. Like, instead of like a branch. I
need to know what nitrosurge does first, man. Before
That's a good point, actually. I don't know what it does actually either. It does, because it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't make any noise, but it just uses power, and the head on the point is
why
good.
Did you just try? It doesn't vibrate.
Well, I thought maybe it would like shake the can or something, and that would cause the head to be better. That's where my head was at. I've tried. It doesn't vibrate.
It's been in my asshole for at least 10 minutes now, and definitely it still has not vibrated.
Nothing.
But listen, come here.
That's 11 minutes now.
Okay.
It's a constant running clock.
Listen, we are going to wrap this week's episode of the Get Folk podcast with a very special treat for all of you that stayed till the bitter, bitter end.
Another nitrosurge pour.
Ed has very kindly shared. He's shared a song with us, myself and Pauline from the band, over the last couple of weeks, and he's been kind of tinkering with it. And he's agreed to share a little snippet of his newest song for our hopefully.
Agreed. I'm forcing Andy to do this. I've agreed.
Please,
you
Ed,
better do this.
please let me.
Sorry.
But He's a Drinker, She's a Drinker by Ed Brophy. And another, when my feedback is just brutal because I just loved it the second I heard it. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. I hope you have a good week ahead of you, you fellows of folk. And you enjoy that Guinness, Ed.
I will. Thank you.
Everyone have a nice week. This has been Get Folk. Take it easy.
Night Research out.
A quarter draft the dram, and she'd be there waiting in anticipation, and her thoughts the same are slowly ruminating on the means and the manner of the common conversation, and how often such palaver can be aided by a tip below.